So welcome back, dear children. I am here today again with a completely new topic, that is cardiovascular system. It means circulatory system in our body, the system which helps our blood to circulate everywhere. Blood gets pumped from our heart and it carries all the nutrients, important gases, liquids, everything to each and every cell. So that is the system we are going to see about. Basic introduction we will see in today's class, right? So the terms in the cardiovascular system, cardio means heart, vascular means blood vessels, means arteries and veins. Arteries carry pure blood, veins carry impure blood. All these veins and arteries are connected to heart, and these veins, arteries, they travel throughout your body to each and every cell in the process of carrying, transporting many things, vitamins, minerals and oxygen, carbon dioxide, everything to and fro inside the body and from the body to outside. Okay. So basically what happens here is transportation of solids, liquids, gases. Solids means the nutrients in chemical form, in broken down chemical form, let it be minerals, vitamins, carbohydrates, fats, everything. Liquids means water, okay, and gases means oxygen is taken to the cells and carbon dioxide is taken away from the cells. Away from the cells to lungs, and from lungs it is breathed out from our body, okay, it comes out of our body. So if you take unicellular animals, there is no vast system for circulation, they doesn't need, because they only have a single cell. So simple diffusion or osmosis are sufficient for them to transport substances, but in case of multicellular animals or plants, they need this process to transport the materials so far as 100 feet if you take the tallest plant on the earth, right. So to that height everything needs to be transported, all the water, rich nutrients should be taken, so they need this system. Of course plants don't have heart, but in general they do have these vessels which carry nutrients and water. Now so again, if in case of lower animals like amoeba, we know diffusion means small pores are present on its body, and those pores, they serve the purpose of transportation. These things, they enter into the body from the pores, the same pores again release out the waste products into their surroundings. And osmosis also one of the mechanism happens in bacteria. In case of osmosis, we can see this example. If we are pickling anything like mango pickle, any pickle if you take, we add a lot of salt, right? Why do we add salt? Salt is a solute there, okay, and that salt medium creates a lot of high concentration in the pickle jar. So any amount of microbes which are present inside the jar, they are just killed because of osmosis. How are they getting killed? Because the cytoplasm of those bacteria or microbes, it travels from the bacteria's body to the surroundings. So then the bacteria gets killed. Why is it cytoplasm moving away from its body? Why is it entering the surroundings? The surrounding which is salty, because we added a lot of salt. So why is it moving like that? Because it is moving along the concentration gradient, means from low concentration to high concentration. The salt concentration in the body of the microbe is less compared to the salt concentration in the surrounding medium. So that is why the bacteria, they just die if we add salt in the pickles. So when there is no cytoplasm within the microbe's body, then there is no life, right? There is no multiplication of bacteria. So that process doesn't happen, it means the pickle doesn't get spoiled. The pickle stays in a good condition, fresh and healthy condition. Now that is an example of osmosis, movement of movement of liquids along a concentration gradient from low concentration to high concentration. Now let us see what is this pulse rate. What's pulse rate? What's this pulse rate basically? There's a heart, right? We have a heart which beats continuously, which pulsates rhythmically. There's a particular rhythm for the heart, right? It beats in its own way in a proper rhythm. So when the heart is beating rhythmically, now there are arteries coming from the heart, right? There's an aorta, that's the major artery, and also pulmonary artery. Pulmonary artery, these are the two main arteries which start directly from the heart, right? See, pulmonary artery, pulmonary means lung. So pulmonary artery, it is connected to lungs only, okay? It is a connection between the lungs and the heart, that's all. Now coming to aorta, this also aorta means major artery. It is the, we can call it as a systemic artery. Aorta is called as a systemic artery. Systemic means body systems. It means that this artery, it comes from the heart and goes to all the body organs. So while going, it divides and divides into arteries and small capillaries, blood capillaries, right? So wherever these arteries are superficial, we can feel pulsations on the wrist of our hand, and also in our neck area, and also behind our knee, and also in the ankle area, and also in the groin. Groin is a region present in your waist part, in the middle part of a body, in between your legs. There also, if we place our fingers on the artery, there we can feel pulsations, means the blood, the heart pumps the blood, no? Accordingly, inside the artery the blood moves. So that we can feel as the pulse rate. So generally, where do we check our pulse? On the wrist of our hand. We can check it by applying pressure onto the artery with our two fingers, index finger and the middle finger. Index finger and middle finger, when we apply pressure, we can feel pulsations, that is pulse rate. So pulse rate indicates, in general, it indicates our heartbeat, okay. So for newborn children, that is infants from 0 to 3 months, pulse rate is 100 to 150 beats per minute, whereas for 3rd month till 6th month babies, it comes down a little lower, 90 to 120 beats per minute, and for from 6 months to 12 months babies, 80 to 120. Now from 1 to 10 years children, pulse rate is 70 to 130 beats per minute. So it's coming down slowly. So from about 10 years, and also children about 10 years, and also in adults and also in senior citizens, it is around 60 beats to 100 beats per minute. And in case of well trained athletes, athletes are the ones who use their full lung capacity, means they breathe in a way that the whole, or each and every alveoli, every corner of their lungs get filled with good amount of oxygen. They are trained, their body is physically trained in a way to breathe properly, okay. So in case of well trained athletes, the pulse rate is 40 to 60 beats per minute. Now, so in general, that's about the pulse rate. We will hold the wrist and we will put our middle finger and index finger, and if we apply gentle pressure on the artery, we can feel our pulse rate. Okay. In the year 1816, a person, a scientist, René Laennec, he discovered stethoscope to hear the beats of our heart. When we go to a doctor, first thing they check our heartbeat, pulse rate, color of our tongue, eye color. These are the basic signs they check for, right? To come to a diagnosis, apart from lab tests and blood tests, blood and urine tests, first thing what they do, apart from x-rays and everything, first to give a basic, to get some basic idea about your body, they check how you are walking to them, the way you walk to them, and also another important thing is that with a steth they can know how fast or how slow is your heart beating, and they can know how are you breathing. They can know your breathing sounds also. So stethoscope is a very important instrument in medical field, right? So René Laennec is the person who discovered it in 1816. Now let's come to our organ of interest, that is heart. Heart beats throughout our life. If it stops, that means the body is dead. That indicates the body is dead. So heart keeps us alive. Where is it located? As you can see in the diagram, it is located in between our lungs. It is well protected by a bony rib cage. Aren't we having a bony rib cage? Why? So what is the prime function of it? To give a proper structure and shape to our chest cavity, and also to protect our heart. Heart and brain, these are very sensitive and delicate areas, right? As brain is protected from the skull box, skull protects our brain, in the same way rib cage protects our heart. And so what can be the size of your heart? If you want to know the size of your heart, just clench your fist like this. Clenching means close your fist, and that is the size of your heart. Now, so in the diagram you can see heart is present in between the lungs, slightly towards left half of your body, and there are many vessels coming into the heart and going out of the heart. What are the vessels that enter into the heart? They are called as veins, and which go out from the heart to out other organs, they are arteries. So what are the arteries that leave from the heart? Aorta means systemic artery, and also pulmonary artery. This aorta or systemic artery, aorta means aorta spelling A-O-R-T-A. This goes to all the other organs. Pulmonary artery, it goes to lungs only. Now what are the veins which enter into the heart from all the cells in the body? They are superior vena cava, inferior vena cava. Okay. So superior vena cava means, please give that duster. So if we take this duster like this, now this is the superior portion of the duster and this is the inferior portion. Okay. As you can see in the diagram, this is a superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, inferior, superior, and what is this called? Anterior. This portion is anterior. Now this portion here, this one is posterior. Posterior, anterior, superior, inferior. Now these are the lateral, these are the sides are lateral. These are the terms which are important in biology, right? So veins, I am talking about veins which leave the heart, right? Superior vena cava, it collects the impure blood from the upper part of the body and comes to heart. Inferior vena cava, it collects impure blood from the lower part of the body and again brings to heart to purify it. Now again there are pulmonary veins, just like pulmonary artery, there are pulmonary veins. So these are veins, but they carry pure blood. Why? In general, veins carry impure blood and arteries carry pure blood, right? But here I said pulmonary veins and they carry pure blood. Why is it so? What is the meaning of pure blood? Blood which has more of oxygen is pure blood, right? So, from which organ we get oxygen? Lungs. So, pulmonary veins, they come from lungs to the heart. So, from lungs what they get? They get the pure oxygen, right? So, pulmonary veins carry pure blood. The only vein that carries pure blood is pulmonary vein. From lungs to heart they bring pure blood. Now, what is pulmonary artery? Pulmonary artery, it supplies the blood to lungs, right? Now, so what can be the shape of a heart? Pear, which is a fruit, it is broad, and again it narrows down. So, that fruit resembles the shape of the heart. So, heart can be compared with pear shape, and the outline of a heart is triangular. It is triangle in outline. And just now I have told you what is anterior and posterior. So, anteriorly the heart is wide, as you can see the diagram on the board. Anterior, that is, it is wide, but behind the board, if you can imagine, posteriorly behind the board it becomes narrow. Now, so heart is covered by two pericardial membranes, right? Pericardial. What is pericardial? Peri means surrounding, cardial means heart, okay. Pericardial means surrounding the heart. These membranes surround the heart. So, they are two in number, right? In between these two membranes there is a fluid called as pericardial fluid. Peri means surrounding, cardial means heart, a fluid that surrounds the heart, okay. So, pericardial fluid is enclosed in between the two pericardial membranes, and these two membranes, they enclose our heart. So, in case if any strong impact, if the heart faces any strong impact from outside, then all that force and pressure and that shock is just gets dispersed in the pericardial fluid. See, if just go to a bucket of water and just hit it with your hand, what happens? You can't feel the pressure, right? The intensity of that force, it becomes less, because fluid, it distributes the shock. Generally when you beat someone, no, they can feel that pressure, but inside the water if you try to put pressure, you can feel that the intensity gets lowered, because that is the property of fluids. So, to protect the heart from all the shocks, there is a fluid to absorb the shocks. Much of the shock gets absorbed by the fluid itself, so that heart cannot get that shock, heart gets protected. Now let us see the parts of the heart. So, here this picture shows us the location of the heart, and this one the general shape and outline of the heart, whereas this one, it is the interior of the heart. Let us come to each and every part. Now, here let us start from here. See, heart is a pear shaped structure, okay, triangular in outline. See, triangular in outline. So, this part is right ventricle. So, here, now this is my heart, means I have to stand like this. So, this is the left side and this is the right side. So, do not get confused. Now, Now this is the right side and this is the left side. Okay, this is right ventricle. Ventricle means lower chambers. Heart has 4 chambers, means 4 rooms. The lower right room is called as ventricle. Ventricle, where is ventricle present? Upper or lower? Upper chamber or lower chamber? Lower chamber. Ventricles means lower chambers. Okay, so right side present ventricle is right ventricle and this one is left ventricle. Okay, now so there is a left atrioventricular valve. Atrio means atrium. Atrium means upper chambers, upper rooms. Okay, in total how many chambers? Heart has 4 chambers, right? Heart has 4 chambers. Let me simplify. Let this be our heart. See, like this. It has 4 chambers. Upper chambers means atrium. Lower chambers means ventricles. Now, in between these, we are having some valves, some openings, windows or doors, some openings. So, that is called as a valve. So, left side of the heart has left side and in between left atrium and left ventricle. So, left atrioventricular valve. Now, semi-lunar valve. What is a semi? Means half moon shaped. See the shape? It is half moon, crescent shape like this, half moon. Okay, half moon. So, semi-lunar means moon. So, half moon shaped valve. So, where is it present? Is it present in between atria and ventricles? No. But where is it present? It is present inside the pulmonary artery. So, this is an artery, right? So, here this is the artery actually. So, this is the right branch and this is the left branch. So, both these branches are coming from here. This one, this is the artery. It is starting like this and it is dividing left and right. Here if we cut it, because it is an interior cross section of the heart. So, here if we cut it, we can see the valves. This is the cut portion and here you can see the semilunar valve. See, half moon shaped. So, these are present inside pulmonary artery, right? This is the pulmonary artery. Okay. Now, left atrium, I have told you the upper chambers are the atria. Now, this atrium is present on the left side. So, it is left atrium. See, two terms A-T-R-I-A, atria, A-T-R-I-U-M, atrium. This is plural form, this is singular form. Okay, plural means two atria, both. When I am talking about both of the atria, I call it atria, plural form, singular is atrium. Okay, now here this is left atrium. And pulmonary veins. So, pulmonary veins, they come from lungs. See, here are the lungs, right? So, here are the lungs. From the lungs, they carry pure blood. Pulmonary veins carry pure blood. So, here where are they? See, these are the two left pulmonary. This tube and this tube, this vessel and this vessel, they are left pulmonary veins, and here these are right pulmonary veins. Pulmonary veins carry pure blood, means oxygenated blood. Oxygenated means pure. O-X-Y-G-E-N-A-T-E-D, oxygenated means pure blood. Okay. Now pulmonary artery, this I have told while telling you about semilunar valves. I have told you semilunar valves are present in pulmonary artery. Now this is the branch coming to the left side, so that's why left branch of pulmonary artery. It carries all the pure blood, the used up blood means deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated means impure blood. So all the impure blood collected from all our organs is brought to heart, then heart sends it to lungs. Okay, now pulmonary artery carries deoxygenated blood to lungs. If that is the left branch, now this is the right branch. So here this is the artery, left branch and right branch. Now coming to aorta. Now here you can see this structure, this round, this big vessel, okay, this bulbous vessel, this big round shaped vessel. Now this is aorta, means systemic artery. Aorta is nothing but systemic artery, systemic to all the body systems. This carries pure blood from the heart, which came from lungs, from lungs, pulmonary veins bringing oxygenated blood, that is pure blood, to heart. Now heart sends it throughout our body through systemic artery, that is the aorta. Where is our aorta? Here, this one. See, it's getting divided. See, artery to the head. Now this one, this vessel and this vessel. On the main aorta I have shown 3 vessels, 1, 2, 3. These 2, they are the arteries which carry pure blood to the head, okay, to the brain. It needs a lot of blood supply, so they carry that. And this small one is an artery to the left arm, okay, left arm. Pure blood to the left arm. Now coming to superior vena cava. These are the veins, right, major veins, main veins, okay, they bring all the deoxygenated blood. Superior vena cava, it brings impure blood collected from the upper half of the body, head and neck, chest area, okay. Whereas the inferior vena cava, see, it is present inferior. I have already told you superior means this region, inferior means this region. So inferior, lower region. This from our legs and everywhere from the lower parts of the body, inferior vena cava collects impure blood and brings to the lungs, okay. Now again, pulmonary artery right branch, pulmonary artery left branch. Pulmonary artery takes deoxygenated blood to lungs to purify it, okay, to send it out, to send that carbon dioxide outside. Now right pulmonary veins, pulmonary veins carry pure blood from lungs to the heart. I am repeating many times, these are the same things. There are about left side and here right side, but I am repeating many times for you to have a clarity. If you miss a point here, you can get it back again. Right pulmonary veins, they are carrying pure blood from lungs to the heart, okay. Now these 2 are the right pulmonary veins. Now again, right atrioventricular valve, see, this is the right side, okay. Now this is my heart, this is the right side, okay, this is the right side, this is the left side. That is what I am showing you here. Right atrio, I have mentioned atrio, upper chamber of the heart, right atrioventricular, this is present in between the two chambers. So this is the right atrioventricular valve, okay. Okay, now what is this line like structure? It is nothing but the muscle tissue, okay. So the lower chambers are called ventricles, right. This is nothing but the ventricular musculature, okay, and this is nothing but interventricular septum, I am sorry. In between the ventricles means in between, inter means in between, interventricular, in between the ventricles, a septum. Septum means a wall like structure. So, this is interventricular septum and this is ventricular musculature. These are atrioventricular valves, okay. They come from in between atrium and ventricle, in between atrium and ventricle, right. Now, I think I have explained interior of the heart in brief, and in the continuing classes we will go much deeper, right. So, today's class tells you what is the basic work of this circulatory system and how circulation happens in different level of animals, and basic pulse rate, and then about stethoscope, who discovered stethoscope, when, and also the shape and location of heart, and in brief the parts of a heart, right. So, I hope you understood the class, and we will see the continuation in next classes, right. Thank you.